the signal to go into the game. Again, we are going to be on Haven site, one of the largest maps that we have, considering that it has a seaside tier, so a lot of versatility for both of our teams to work with.
And it's generally attacker-sided. Well, it's supposed to be attacker-sided, considering the fact that you have to defend 3 sites and you're only 5 people. Means that you're definitely going to have at least one site with just one player. That's why these sentinels are so important. And so right now, it looks like it is going to be a C take. 4 players up towards long, and well, never mind. They've just completely caster cursed me, and they've gone back towards mid. As Spike is watching the flank, as now Hap starts to push on up, and it will be a couple of exchanges happening at the very start as Dash Jr. finds a double kill.
Yep. So far that is looking pretty good, but this is still a 3v3 fight. Oh, they managed to actually dwindle down the population here onto the middle side. So now Hap's on his way into the B area, but looking at how our attackers or K Esports are rotating at, they are actually going on different or opposite directions rather.
They've left A completely open. They're convinced that this is going to be a B take, and well, now they know they're going in towards the A side. That spike has gone down. Foxu is still alive, which is a scary prospect. He's back on the Sova, and so he doesn't have all that utility to work with.
True. So again, this kind of forces them out to actually quickly rotate over here. But look at that, Lul was able to really negate that pushing abilities earlier, so this is going to be a 2v1 fight. Let's see if Haps is going to go for that potential cut to the recon. Bolt is going to be used. Fake defuse right here. Let's see, but Foxes still has his aim on point and will be taking this round for them.
He's fully warmed up at this point, and so yeah, they take the first round. They did lose 3 players in the process. But that's a really good performance coming in from the side of KU Esports, and a good start to this game. And again, it's Foxu leading the charge, as you say. They don't invest too much. You're seeing that classic look of, okay, we're going to get a couple of ghosts. Anyone that can afford a rifle, buy it. Otherwise, save for the rifles on the next round. So 4 phantoms and 1 ghost. And they don't invest anything on the side of Viridis, which is actually really smart. They'll have plenty of utility going on to the next round.
True. I mean, that is your usual go-to whenever during pistol round you're kind of in the losing side. So really saving some money on their hands is a very big help. It's only going to be a bonus if ever they are going to, really be thrifty and win this next round that we have. So right now, a little bit of, it's not as aggressive as it is, but it looks like the shenanigans will be happening onto C long right here. Luckily, Omen was able to smoke that out to actually block some vision away from our attackers right here. It's kind of forced them to really rotate into the other areas of our map. And I think
he's so deep in. They're all just rotating, and they know how clear this site is. Somehow, all the way in towards their spawn, he can find a bunch of kills here, or just the information is just enough there. Now he's trying to back away. He doesn't want to overextend. He doesn't want to get surrounded. But 5 players bounding towards the A site. Humble has found one. Looking for a little bit more. There's another kill. Humble finally gets traded out. There's Willie with the classic. They don't want to lose too many guns to these classics because they've invested nothing. This is actually a 3v3 somehow, and now they've got some guns to use. They can make their way back into the site. This could be a potential retake in towards A, and it's getting a little bit dangerous for KU Esports.
A little bit of despairs right here, so they are going for the defuse. That was a very nice for Willie right here, but was shot darted by Foxu. So let's see who gets the upper hand here in terms of aims rather, but you know what? Fox is still gets the round for his team, really denying that defuse against our defenders.
Foxu 3K, ever consistent. I said in the first game he looked really flat, and I was thinking maybe it's because he's playing a Sova, but he's a Sova now and he's still getting all these kills. So I guess he just needed to warm up a bit, and even on that warm up game, he won that first game. On that second game, he just completely bombed. So I don't know, but regardless, it's going to be a buy round coming in from the side of Viridis, and so KU Esports will have a little bit more of a barrier to entry into these sites.
Truly, and looks like I like it how they are playing around with our map right here, just making some noise into one area and then kind of distract them and goes for potential push into any sites that is clear on their hands. I think they are very aware that A is not much of guarded for the defenders here, so them being reactive about that, they are gonna hover up themselves into A site. So right now, really denying that push here onto the tunnel. This is quite a good discipline for KU Esports.
Just waiting for the retake for everyone to be in position. Willie's about to reveal everyone's position. There's Paranoid coming up from the but the kills, they're starting to come in now for the side of Viridis. There's the double kills, the triple kill coming in. Senorita only found one in exchange. And that spike is still ticking away. They come defuse it. That bomb Humble still finds the core of the ham. Foster found Foxu. No defuse just yet. They're all pushing at the same time. Foster has found Humble and now they can go for the defuse. Is there enough time?
There is.
There is. They actually defused it halfway, so 4 seconds remaining. Plenty of time to work with.
It's nice because they are able to play with the agents as well. You know, one is going to go for the defuse and the others will simply go for protect to the one who is defusing. So that is one of the strategies that VIRIDIS ARCUS is really doing right now. And really, the comeback potential of this team is something that you have to take into account, since you don't want to really position yourself in a very complacent area wherein you think that you are on the upper hand.
It seems to be like the basic setup for Viridis. It's like, okay, give them the site and then we retake. It's what they really prefer doing, and it makes sense considering this is an attacker-sided map. Really got so much information there. He just saw 3 players in towards mid. But you can't really do anything with that info, considering that they can still rotate. We're only like 30 seconds into this first round. I mean, sorry, into this 4th round.
Yeah, they still have a lot of time to actually, really, kind of like transport themselves if ever they decide to go for that rotate. It looks like they maybe committing into this B site right here. So right now, this is 3 players down to 1. So let's see. Unfortunately, it was not, it was secured rather by VIRIDIS ARCUS here, not really getting a point and actually evening it out.
At 2-2, there's 3 ults available for the side of KU Esports. I'm not sure how they're going to be using those. I mean, Cypher's ult's always a good ability to use. Omen, it's very situational. If Dash Jr. is going to be teleporting into Heaven A or whatever else, he could make a lot of space for his team, but it all depends on how good he is at that lurk. And so now, round number 5, and it's going to be a gun round.
Yeah, definitely. So again, this is very nice. Was able to smoke down at C long right here. So I think that is going to be used as a distraction here, and they would just rotate into a different area. But like as you mentioned, VIRIDIS ARCUS will prefer to actually let them take that spike plant and then just try to make things work and place themselves in a matter wherein the positioning is favorable into their hands.
Push in towards the A side again. They want to go for that retake. Haps has just gone down. They're waiting for Willie to get that recon thrown out, and there's another smoke to replace the Heaven smoke. He could go for that teleport and try to get a flank on these players, because there's still 4 players that want to push into the side that all gathered up in the entrance to A.
Blinding. Off your feet!
Pretty interesting. Rolling Thunder is going to be used to actually, delay the pushing abilities of our attackers right here.
Call a save. All 4 players have to go for a save.
Oh, okay. That's pretty interesting. But I think because of the save, they might be a bit of confident in terms of facing our defenders onto the next round. I think I'm just having like what do you call this? An intuition that one of them might, if it's if it favors the economy, one from our attackers might go for an operator, but it still depends.
I would like to see it no. We haven't seen too much of it. We've only seen Harvey on that first map using the operator, and it's increasingly useful on Haven. You've got so many long angles where you can use that, so it's a good. I mean, it's a good expectation for you to expect the operator to come out eventually. But the rounds are so back and forth that the money can't really build up to a point where they can buy an AWP. So whoever gets that ball rolling, that's when they're going to pick up the AWP rate, and I feel like they can start to gain a bit of a lead considering that. But we've had in both maps, we saw them get 6-6 in the first half.
And right now, just looking at that, as predicted, there is going to be someone onto really using that operator right there onto C long. So this is pretty interesting. This is going to be a 4v3 fight with Sova on VIRIDIS ARCUS with a low break of health. So I think he may use himself as a decoy. Might be going for a trade, but it kind of depends onto the rotations that we have right now. Really sliding out A once more here, but this time Cypher is on patrol onto A short. So this is looking good because they are dispersed, and them being dispersed could also mean that a lot of information can be triggered into there. Oh,
Stuck in a corner there. That could be useful though, Haps still being alive from that position. 2 versus 3. He finds one. That's a spike down as well. So plenty to do here for Foxu, and he's not going to find anything done. It will be, again, score equalized 3-3.
Alright, so this is looking good, you know, for actually both sides of the team really trying to rally out the points so far, really, you know, gathering up on the sleeve. So I think for the side of our defenders, just really stick to their guns right now because it's really working for them. All they have to do is just position themselves in a way that is favorable for them. And for the attacker side, I think it's time that they might try to change the strategy. Let's say at least one would flank and, you know, try to have an aggressive approach.
Is aggressive on the defense coming in. Haps keeping it towards it. Oh, Foxu finds Haps before he can get back. And that was a good shot coming in from Foxu in exchange, but Javi still opened things up. So 4 versus 4, and again, the ults are ready for the side of KU Esports. I feel like Phoenix is the best entry. It's LOL going in with the with his ult readied up. That can make so much space, and Eureka finding Boaster now. They start to split towards C as Fox just on Willie. That's a 2 versus 4 now on this retake.
Basically trying to let go of that A side this time and opting for a better strategy here at A, which is what they are doing right now. So far, let's see if Javi is able to snipe out the members of our attackers. You have to take note that this is a 4v2 fight. So in terms of melee combat, Savi has to really, you know, upgrade his reflexes up. Oh, look at that beautiful blade storm right there. Was able to get one down, make that 2. He might go for a triple here if it seemed to fit. So again, operator here. Ooh, so he might be going for the defuse this time, really abusing the fact that our Cypher has an operator and it kind of
can't do anything. Yeah,
he can't do anything at that point. So that is nice. So he was able to snag 1 kill off the bat.
Javi, that's so well played. He gets in there, he uses ult to find a double kill. No, he gets the first kill, gets the second kill with his ult, smoke down, defuse, and gets the final kill. That's all Javi.
Javi, the fact that he was able to actually play around with the area at the same time, you know, really getting our attackers off guard with the positions that he had with the help of his dashes right there is just exemplary. And, you know, if we've been highlighting Foxu quite some time, right, with KU Esports, but, you know, we're starting to see some limelight once again for both Willie and Javi actually here into our game. So, yeah, and, ooh, Reina will be getting a double kill over there.
Ostov completely blinded, can do anything. Senorita, that's a good 1 tap coming in from him. Javi, he is so consistent. He just does not stop. All of these kills, he just does not miss.
Ooh, indeed he was able to get the spike, but he has to be very wary of this A low right there.
Good peek from Willie. Another good round here from Viridis. 5-3. They're doing well on the defender side.
Truly, and yeah, this goes to show that they have that capability to actually hold our sites right here. Because usually in Haven, you would, since it is a three-sided map, it kind of gives you that risk wherein you have to give up 1 site just so that you could really get a hold of the other 2. So the thing is, VIRIDIS ARCUS giving that opportunity for them to actually get the spike being planted and just rotate in a very timely manner is one of the things I have to commend here for them, because they are really turning it into a favorable tide.
Actually, yeah, there's 3. Look at how many players are rotating over towards this A side. They know exactly what this play is going to be. I feel like KU just are not faking enough. On a site with three sides, they need to be faking a lot more. Low finding the one, Javi missing the follow-up. That's a rare miss. 4 versus 4. Ult comes out, and a missed shot coming in as well. But that spike's trying to tick away. They need to find a way back in.
Yeah, a little bit of late right there, and he is not forced to go and use a melee weapon here. So Savi has a lot of flexibility to work with here. So he is on to our breach. Flashes out by Phoenix. Really understandable that he kind of faced the direction of the walls, that he will get flashed out. But you know what, Phoenix maybe into the right footing and was able to take down a Javi right there, and completely defending that spike and really taking the round onto the favorite.
Each individual inside of KU Esports are capable of popping off. Lol with that 4K in that last round. He played around those smokes around that site really well. And the good thing about Viridis is they're very good at maintaining their economy. I haven't seen them go for a eco buy or a half buy in a lot of these rounds. It's been a phantom every single round because they do the right call every time. They know they're not going to win a round. They just go for the save. And I mean, at this point, they're still leading. And if they keep maintaining their economy, they could get to, what's the scoreline here? They could get to an 8-4 at this point if they're playing this well enough. And Javi still holding on that operator, that's a big plus.
Indeed, and plus in a very good position too. So it kind of, him playing with both the operator and his melee combat skills, it kind of throws off the guard of KU Esports here. But I mean, going back into how they rotate themselves, eyeing out A once again, and of course that is going to be the notification that the members of KU Esports are here, so might as well try to pin them down as much as they can. And I don't know, I think I have a feeling that Savi might let go for a moment this operator if the situation needs it.
So difficult to retake with an AWP. That's the only problem with this weapon, because that stopping motion when you have to get that accuracy in that operator has been nerfed so badly that there you go. As soon as they can't make their way in, they get flashed and pushed back. They're just like, okay, you know what, we need to save this, we need to go back, give them the tie, and it's going to be 5-5 and they don't lose a single player. So it's always back and forth between these two teams. It's really good to see how competitive both teams are. Humble actually finding another kill before the round ends. Looked a little bit more. Javi's actually found Humble in exchange. So they've lost the operator yet again. But 5-5, and it's as close as it can be. They've got 2 rounds left for this first half. Let's see who can run away with a lead, or if it's just gonna be a tie.
Truly, you can't really conclude anyone who is in the upper hand at this point, because even if there's like let's say a 2-round gap between both of these teams, either of these teams who were able to get that, the comeback potentials of both sides of the teams is really something that you have to commend, because sometimes wherein there are some instances where if, for example, you are in the lead, some of the losing team kind of gets really tilted or mentally disrupted. So that's also another factor that we have to consider here. But now going back into the game, they are really hoping into C long. So let's see how things would pan out for them. You have to be very careful now. But wow, that was a very nice.
That's not how you want to go down through a smoke. Happy is still here, so that's still scary.
And with an operator to boot.
But now Spike rotating back over towards that A side, but actually no one on the side of Viridis has moved anywhere. So now 2 players to defend this A site. There's tripwires, there's cages all over the place, and there's a Reyna hiding in the back of the site. They make some noise over towards A. They're both coming in towards A. So you just found Willie in mid, and now they can go towards B because it's just being cleared.
But I think they might actually commit C instead of his. They have to be very careful into the linear.
He got collateral.
30 seconds left.
Very careful in terms of that positioning there, especially on a linear position. because you know what, Hobby was able to get a double kill on their hands, but aided with the melee combat of the Reyna right here. It kind of complements the compositions of VIRIDIS ARCUS. So you know, Omen will be planting the spike onto A side, however, but he has to, you know, he has a potential clutch. He just has to, you know, really position himself in a way that a trade might not, you know, help it to play.
Oh my goodness.
Oh.
That was an immediate kill. That was well played. And that is going to be Viridis up to 6. So no matter what happens on the next round, they can't go into the next half with less points.
True. So again, for
Last round for the half.
Pretty job here in trying to get as much points and kills as much as they can, because you know they are really monitoring the economy right here as far as we are concerned. So again, quickly looking at the respective guns right here, looks like from the defender side, no one, even from the attackers, is going to get an operator, because basically at this point it would be best for our attackers to just go for melee combat.
First kill already in the first 15 seconds, Senorita finding one, Willie there for the exchange. And, well, Haps getting a little bit too aggressive there. Like, look what they've done here for the side of KU. They started to spread out and wait for the push to come in. Gross does find one and make some space for himself. He's actually going to find another one.
Ooh.
And that's going to be the advantage for Viridis. So now, 2 versus 3. They do have smokes. They've got plenty of traps they can lay down.
Spike planted.
Alright, spike has been planted once again onto the A side. So Cypher and Omen maybe like opted to position themselves once more in a convenient position. So ult is going to be coming and ready here by Reyna, really getting some kills through and through for this specific round. So this is a good job for her, but was sniped out right here, and Bash Jr. and both sides are doing a pretty good job and actually remaining them here. Okay, the fake defuse will be in play. He gets to get to aim first.
That's such... You can see that... So basically, every single time it goes for one of those retakes, it's always take Heaven Control back and push in from short. And they've been doing that time and time again. This time they get that spike down, they get a defensive, they push down into sewer, they push down towards a long, and then they hold. They have such sharp aim there, and Willie, you can see, he actually played that really smart. He thought, okay, he was last seen inside of sewer, I think I heard a teleport, I'm going to focus on the other side. He pre-aimed the right position, but just a little bit better in that scenario. Was Dash Jr. So it was really well played. Dash Jr. finding that double kill to end that round, but finding Harvey, that was the most important thing, and it was Humble 2K that found Harvey. So again, another 6-6 half. These teams have been neck and neck this entire time, and so now let's see who can close this out.
Cage triggered.
And closing out, it's highly unlikely that they might, you know, we might see some difference into, let's say, the last 3 or 4 rounds of our match, since that is the trend ever since our match number 1. So we have to really take that into consideration as well. So again, really having an aggressive play here onto the C side. Recon Bolt is going to be used, and a lot of people from City right here for ESPORTS. So again, spike has been planted right now. So again, Bolster and Willie was able to take down off the bat here. 2v3 fight, make that a 1v3 fight, and just really pinning down Senorita over there into the edge kind of gives the round for Viridis Arcus.
Played there by Willie, getting that 3k. You can see he was confident to go for those aim fights, and he was hitting those headshots as well. That Ghost, always worth investing into, especially over the armor, because 125 armor, it's not going to really save you unless you're going up against classics. So that's well played, and now we can see the Phantoms have already come out just into the second round of the second half, just like we saw in that first half from the side of KU Esports. I'm interested in these setups coming in from the side of KU Esports, because they're a team that are very well researched. So we'll be seeing a couple of interesting setups, I expect. You can see him curbing those smokes out. 3 players over towards C, and they don't actually have to push this. They just do 3 smokes out towards C and then just back away.
I think that is just used, you know, as a bait or decoy, whilst the other members are, you know, really heading themselves onto the A side. You see, this is like the advantage as well of having a very broad map. You can like really play with it and using one side as a distraction, and you know, having the information that it's highly likely that the defenders will be taking one down. But look at that, shorty plays coming in, but it's gonna be traded by Boaster here with another kill, and of course Javi with another one to boot. And you have to take out that they are on Ghost Strike here, so they might, you know, go on to a third round if ever it kind of went into the third, but that was very nice. You know, clicks coming through. Ooh. Nice.
Attempt there from Foxy, but Javi with the triple kill. I mean, they had the superior weaponry, so it's basically what you expect from a round like that. So now going into round number 15, we're seeing an Odin coming out in the hands of Foxu. I'm not sure exactly what he's going to be using that for, but it's a scary prospect for C.
Yeah, or probably got a wall bang of this B site here, since the big window is a very nice you know, position to actually threaten or harass our defenders here, or actually basically just to make some noise when
You don't
you
want to be running into one of those.
Truly, a noise you do not wish to interact with. So again, into the A short right here. This is a 2v1 fight. Okay, Humble was able to take one, but Reina is gonna go for that trade. So they may be committing A for this time around, but quick on the knees. Goes Phoenix onto the sides right here. Ooh.
Foxu with the Odin, finding the kill onto Crossoff. That's not how you want to go down. And now it's a 2 versus 1, and Haps is on 30 HP. You might want to try and hold on to this rifle and the little bit of utility that he does have. But I think he's getting told to just go for this, so he's just going to stay here, maybe try and go for some exit frags, maybe hope that one of the players from the side of KU get too aggressive. 50 seconds left on the clock. He has time to make some space for himself.
Yes, but with the Odin in the hands of Foxy right here, ultimate clear result back there.
3k for Foxu with an Odin. In a professional match, it's nice to see.
Very indeed. So right now they are able to catch up with the scores that, like as I mentioned initially, that even though there is a certain gap, the comeback potentials of both of these teams are just surreal. That you know, you don't really want to, you know, place yourself in a very comfortable position and just try to gather up as much as possible. And I think that is what both of our teams are doing right now. So I guess a change of strategy would be good here. Ooh, Stinger though in the hands of Savvy. Very interesting. He doesn't want the bird, but the bird factor.
So they're all spread out this time. KU Esports, it's a fast adjustment. They notice that they all try and go for a retake. They try and push and try and get some information. So now they just hold. They're just waiting for someone to over-aggress, try and punish the aggression. Sorry, not KU Esports. This is Viridis holding for pushes to come in from the side of KU Esports. And now KU Esports have also adjusted. They're not getting too aggressive trying to get that information. Most of them are just trying to stay inside the sites. You can see some information being gathered by Humble 2K in towards Sue. Is actually trying to push his way in, but now it's going to be a garage push. Making their way in. There's the flash out, and Lol goes down. Willie, great shot.
Ooh, a bit of a really in a tight situation right there earlier, but luckily there weren't much players right there to actually go for those pickups. But you know what? Foxo with the Odin gets a double onto the garage area right here.
The spike couldn't even go down. That Odin is causing so much havoc. And you see, if you have an Odin, you're making chaos, and chaos is where KU shines. Oh, he couldn't escape, Bowster, and goes for both going down. Fox with a triple kill in the round, and they immediately even out the scoreboard, 8-8.
Liking this Odin plays coming in from Foxu. Really.
It's like PM.
Yeah. Really chaotic on his side, but you know what? I like it how he plays around with the Odin at the same time with his ultimate, because it kind of gives that threat moment for that Omen specifically during our previous round. Wasn't able to escape even though with his shrouded step.
This goes here. Wow, this is a nice spot. That goes there. Yes, this should do. Wow, this is a nice spot.
Basic setups coming in from Humble. Uses all of his utility before the round starts. Just tries to put a couple of slow down traps before they can get into the A side. But so many players over towards C. The smoke goes down, and this could definitely be a C play. A Spike is staying back and watching the flank as well. Harvey down to 11 HP. Oh my goodness, he sees so much, but LOL gonna shut him down mid-air.
That was
Oh, the Odin. The Odin.
Odin here, let's see if he is able to get one for the bag. Shock dart as well to be utilized here. So a lot of people on City side for our defenders. ESPORTS has to really position themselves in a manner wherein they are not get caught down, but unfortunately Senorita here may try to get a play, flashing the other members here, but unfortunately, you know, the positions are in the favor of ESPORTS, and that was a thrifty round to boot.
So
This goes
9 to
here.
8. It's been back and forth even in the second half, but that looked so dominant from the side of Viridis. They're actually winning these aim duels with pistols, and that shouldn't be happening. Not at this point. Not if you're KU Esports. You had plenty of time to warm up. You should have your groove going, but losing to the Spectres, to the Sheriffs, it's not ideal. So at this point, that's going to be demoralizing for KU Esports as well. That can affect their aim and their confidence, which could make it even worse for them.
Truly. And yeah, just going back here, looks like they will be holding the pushes right here, just trying to take down one. They are aware that one is into the garage site with that Flasher Phoenix. Yeah, so Brain, I think, is just making some necessary noises to force a reposition for the Phoenix. So what Javi rather was able to take down Senorita and TA side, but now seeing how they reposition themselves, they might go for a B side take, or still committing to C.
Spike planted.
And it's going to be a heavy commitment. Javi finding LOL in mid. And, I mean, in 1 versus 5, I can do this. Let's go, Foxu. Just jump in there, get all those kills. It's not going to happen. He's going to be trying to save what he can. I feel like he would have done better on the raise here. Let someone else go solo for that information, because he's just so much better on a duelist. Oh, Javi walk into the Bucky.
Alright,
Javi must be so concerned. He's keeping such a long distance. I think he knows that there's a Bucky in his hands.
Truly, and he tried to like distance himself up. That was a very nice strategy for Javi right there. He knows that there's a Bucky, so the Bucky is a bit of a disadvantage when you're kind of far off. So he kind of distanced himself first before actually going for the peak. So that is one thing that really have to consider for Javi here. Really quick on his thoughts.
I'm trying to stay unbiased as possible because Viridis is a Filipino team, and so the cast is the base. But so like sometimes I'm like exceptionally harsh on Viridis, but they're actually playing so well on this defender side, and it's really good to see. So you know, I'm slightly proud, but no bias. Javi will start off this round with a kill to his name, Senorita, going down immediately.
True. So that is looking good once again for Viridis Arcus here. Again, Drone is going to be hovered onto A short to see any vital information if ever he gets to see one. Of course, looking at the crooks and candies of each of the site, just so that they won't get surprised later on when they try to go for the initiation. So right now, I think information was already communicated by the other members of the team, and I think to date they're just simply trying to hold the ground and try to go to a route or into a site where the safest route is at.
Space they're making there. If there's a problem if Bowster goes down here. He's got the spike in hand and he's pushed all the way up. I was a little bit scared that he was just going to overextend because that smoke's about to disappear. Out went that paranoia and it's completely wasted. He didn't peek along with it, so Dash Jr. doesn't have any flashes left. I think
30 seconds left.
I think they do have a couple left on Grosso.
Okay, so the cameras will be shown here to apply some vision onto A site with any potential rotates, but
Good position from Haps to find Humble.
Spike planted.
They really run down the clock. There's like 10 seconds left. They keep doing that. They keep letting the clock run down before they go for those ultimate dedications to the site. And now they're in a 5 versus 2, and it's been working time and time again. And they can just ride that same strat all the way home, because if it's not broken, you know, don't fix it. It doesn't look like KU is supposed to know how to deal with this late aggression coming in.
True. And usually you would like usual attackers would like to start off the game as aggressive as possible, but you know, them having like as you mentioned, this late aggression is, you know, something that can throw off the you know, the shots or the calling of the shots of our defenders right here. So we are down to 2. So Lul unfortunately was taken down by Javi there onto Cubby, and you know, still snag up some points.
The timing.
Yeah, the timing very in the hands of VIRIDIS ARCUS here, really, you know, keeping the momentum in their pace.
Like, there's so much logic behind going for that late push, because if you hold on to your utility as much as possible, you just use a little bit to bait out all that utility on the defender side. Once you push in, I feel like at this point, VIRIDIS understand that, okay, KU, they like the chaos, they like to make loads of smokes all over the site, and then just to play around those flashes. Let them use all their utility. Once it's all gone, we go for order, and order can win over chaos if you're controlling that situation. And so now pushing up towards C long. This time they're going aggressive, and I don't know if it's going to work out, because there's the chaos, and there's Nash Jr. finding the first kill. Gross gone down. There's the flash. Has to back away down. He's going to go as well. Williams actually found one exchange, but there it is. Once that chaos starts to come in, it all goes in favor of KU.
Really taking advantage of the group together VIRIDIS ARCUS onto C site here. So this is going to be a little bit challenging for VIRIDIS ARCUS with Cypher. With the remaining agent here, they might cross paths onto the garage. Let's see who gets the better aim. And at this point, it's going to be low right there. And with that, you know, KU Esports just trying to gain their footing once again with that point.
Triggering to get to get taken down by LOL, because you can just imagine that laughing face in your head every single time he gets you.
Truly, the LOL.
LOL. 11-9, and that was a great round from KU, but I feel like that was more the fault of VIRIDIS' side than it was KU's, because they basically played into KU's hands there, and they need to resort back to that style of just bait out that utility, just drown them with everything, so they can't be flashing you and smoking you that much when you're trying to push in towards the sites.
Indeed. So again, Recon Bolt is going to be used here. I like it how they're making some noise onto the garage area, but I don't know if this is intentional, but they kind of forget to take the spike. I think it's intentional, maybe. But you know, they have to take that into consideration later on, because you know, the chase is real here. And okay, this is pretty interesting. I think they just want to like take all of them down instead of actually going for the plant.
They finally retrieved the spike.
Yeah.
And they still have all their utility, which is really good. Now KU is the team that's starting to adjust.
Indeed. So like the smoke is going to disappear here at C long, finding no one in the vicinity. But again, rotation wise, they are you know, transitioning themselves onto a long. Drone is going to be used by the Silver there onto a short. Again, not to be surprised in any corners, which is a good call for them. So again, taking their time with still 20 seconds on the clock, but
what a whiff there from Harvey. Grossoff is there finally for an exchange, but Senorita's finding kills too. This is
10 seconds left.
So fast. No time for a plant. This round's done.
Indeed, this may go. I was about to say this may go for a clutch, but you know what? Fox is still, you know, pretty acing up his aims right there. And as you mentioned, the game is done, and just like that, you know, KU Sports just needed one more score to again even out the odds. And I'm kind of proud of my predictions moment we're in. Things
you've grown as a caster in just 3 maps. It's amazing progress.
I learned from the best. Wink, wink. We're going back here.
That's right, I am the best.
All right, going back into the game that we have right now, as mentioned earlier, the action will really start here for the last 2 or 3 rounds that will be happening in a short while. So now 11 to 10 for both. For K Esports, just need one more to even it out. Drone is going to be over here on A long again to just apply some visions here. So not really taking an aggressive push onto the early stages of our game, since they still have a minute to work with. Okay. Okay, so
They've
far,
actually reunited over towards mid. They're pushing in towards the B side, and here you have Willie just waiting. Sorry, not Willie. Foxu waiting for this push to come in. All 4 players already up towards this door, and so now they're forced to go for this take.
I like it
No
how
one close. Oh my goodness! All the utility
30
coming in
seconds left.
side of KU.
okay, that was a little lag moment for both the Phoenix and the Reyna. They kind of like stared at each other first before actually getting that gunshots right there. But going back here, I like it how VIRIDIS ARCUS used B site, but it didn't really went well
10
into their
seconds
favor.
left.
But Willie here being witty, just getting Senorita down, and a trade for his life is inevitable at that point. So yeah, they were able to even out the scores right here, and ooh. This is going to be pretty interesting come the last few rounds that we are about to use.
So scary for VIRIDIS. They are not baiting out enough utility, and you saw as soon as I went for that B side, all that utility coming in from both sides of the walls, all the flashes coming in, they all just start dying one by one. It's I mean, if they're going to keep doing that, I feel like they can't even bait out the utility from the side of KU anymore. They're just waiting for the push before they use anything. And the only skills they're using are the ones that are rechargeable. So it's really smart on the side of KU.
Truly. Again, really holding the ground right here, waiting for someone to actually be detected at this point. So yeah, looking at the mechanics, Fox, who was not able to see that cipher onto that area, but going back, our attackers of VIRIDIS ARCUS really, I think they will be sticking to the original plan, wherein they kind of take at least 1 or 2 down before going for a full commit. So Blade Storm is overed by Hobby right here for some potential melee combat through. So dashes in, goes and floats up, but was not able to get spotted by Dash Jr., but was traded by Foxu, however, onto that side. So again, he has a lot of things to consider right here. This is a 3v3 fight. Okay, so Bolster was able to get the takedown against Senorita
30
right
seconds
here.
left.
Everything is just happening in a flash. So this is going to be a 3v2 fight. Cypher in the garage area. So Tertiary is going to be used. Not going to get anyone at that point. Oh, actually waiting for one. So he will be taking that hit instead. Spike is going to be planted by VIRIDIS ARCUS right here. But that linear takedown coming from Humble is just really well, and it forced them to actually take the lead this time around. So
I cannot believe they lined up for him. Humble had the perfect timing there. He just had to click left click and they both went down. And that's match point. And I mean, they can close us out right now because it looks like VIRIDIS have run out of strats on their attacker side, and it shows as well. How many rounds they just lost where it's all 5 players against the side and it just starts to crumble once they start to fight their way back in.
Truly, basically they got barbecued by Humble back there. And yeah, as you mentioned, they are starting to get depleted in terms of strategies here. And you also have to really take into consideration the mental fortitude of our teammates here, because this is the kind of stats wherein it kind of shakens up your mental capacities here, or actually to be tilt-proof or not. So going back into the game right here. Alright, so this is a pretty interesting position for K Esports, really coupled up together onto the site, but well dispersed enough to apply some vision into our site. So Willie was able to take down one If I'm not mistaken, that was on A site.
Just rotate as soon as they find those kills. This is for overtime. There's Foxu with with Odin again. He will be going down. This is a 2 versus 4 in the retake. They can't save. This is the last round,
Spike
and so
planted.
this could head into sudden death here. Out comes smoke spray coming through, and unable to find the kill there. Bowser jumping down. He looks like he wants to just yeet out of there, and he will.
Okay.
It's
They
a hard
have to be
retake.
very careful in peeking right here. Okay, that was a very nice headshot followed through by a nice kill for Boaster right here. And again, this is going to be a
Sudden death.
sudden death moment for both of our teams. Really,
Evenly
really
matched.
Yeah, evenly matched all throughout our game.
Foxu decides to go for the Odin again. He's been so reliant on. I don't understand. This is a new meta.
I think it's more, I don't know. I think it kind of like Odin gives you the insurance of really hitting your targets, but the thing is, really that heavy loaded gun can also be in a not so good favor for you, especially when your position is not in the best way that you would want it to be. So I think Foxu here having a lot of confidence with that Odin, and we'll just have to see how this pans out.
My goodness, that's not how you want to start the last round. Lit down to 31 HP, just a lucky spray through the smoke. Boaster. He's gonna be regretting it. There's no healers, like, because of that Sage nerf, which has basically been ruined. He's probably wishing at this point, oh, I wish we had a Sage. That Ice Wall is still such a useful piece of utility. And, I mean, I'm excited to see what happens once we have Sky come out.
I also, yeah, agree. Pretty interesting to see, and yeah, the nerf from Sage is, you know, in desperate pain right now. So, and hence the reason why it's not really used at this point. So dashes in, goes on to top side of our boxes into the site right here. Kind of goes for the commit. Rolling Thunder, however, is going to be deployed, but the plant is going to push through. So depleting health all over. Look at that Boaster with, I guess, 1 HP left on his nose right here, but still no casualties so far.
Slow retake. Javi trying to force one of that position. There's the molly. He actually goes down. There's Hopper finding another hap as well. This is a good retake so far. Gross finds the first. There's National finding one more. And in a 1 versus 4, I don't think it's done. I think he can't do anything. KU. This is all on KU. That defuse already coming in. This is to be done. Oh, he's gonna find the kill! There, the spike diffuser goes down. There's another one on the defuse. He actually spots him. There's the flash coming in, and that's gonna be it. 13 to 12. KU find their way back in.